I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. There's another paid request, this time for Guillermo. If anyone's interested in requesting any other type of videos or topics or reactions or anything else, feel free to request it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both things are down below in the info box. Now this is for the Sacrament, which is another found footage film. But I thought this one was a bit interesting because it's a take off the Jim Jones Jonestown Massacre, where these two guys from it's based on it. It's not that story, but you tell it's very based on it. In this movie, it's two journalists from Vice. They go with this photographer whose sister has joined this seems like a hippie commune. All three of them go there. Seems like secret middle nowhere place. And they start mingling with the people in this place called Eden Parish. People seem happy. Oh, there's these two kids from the hood. They said, we feel safer here. This woman is dealing with a medical facility. And there's also a daycare. Oh, we're giving out possessions, but it's a lot happier here. You know, from the cancers of society, poverty, racism, everybody's happy here. Don't need technology, all that jazz. But then, as it slowly builds, you see certain cracks. You know, one person going, we're not allowed to talk to outsiders. One of them, our two leads, is given this note from a little girl, and they read the note, and it says, please help us. And then, if you know anything about Jim Jones or Jonestown, you know what this is all leading up to. But I did like it. Number one, I thought the acting was rather solid, in particular the two leads. You have the one guy who has a wife and has a baby on the way. You have, for the most part, a cameraman, decent guy, got a little bit of a headband thing going when we see him. And they were just natural, decent performances. Not saying it's anything remarkable, but they were decent. They were good. And a lot of times it's not the case in this type of movie. And then the guy who plays, he's not called Jim Jones, but he looks almost exactly like Jim Jones with the suit, the glasses. He did a good job. He has certain fervor and presence, and you could tell that he's brainwashing these people into doing what he wants them to do. And he's a crazy guy who believes in his own bullshit. And like I said, if you know, let me put it away. If you know the joke, don't drink the Kool-Aid. It's not even a joke, but a lot of people mention that don't drink the Kool-Aid. That's from Jonestown and all that stuff. And there's a moment where they drink the Kool-Aid and things don't end the best. Now, it's directed by Ty West, who did films like The Roost, House of the Devil. He's done other stuff as well. I thought it was a bit weird because in this type of film you kind of want to have an immersion, whether it's a found footage or a fake documentary or whatever. But in the after it opens, then it gets to the credits. And granted, there's some nice synthesizer score. But as our characters are going to the airport and going on their journey to this Eden Parish, it'll say a film by Eli Roth, like produced by Eli Roth, a film directed by Ty West. These are the cast members. I'm going, well, wait a minute. If you're trying to make this a fake and immerse people in it, yes, of course we all know it's fake, but you're trying to immerse people, given this produced by Eli Roth, like directed by Ty West, you're already ruining the immersion. So I don't really understand why you don't say that till the end of the film. Have people immersed, and then okay, it's a movie. But you kind of ruin it in like 5 minutes in. That was a bit weird. That was a strange choice. I don't really understand that. This is a slow build. Maybe some people will find the film boring. To me, it didn't because, like I said, while it's not exact to what happened in with Jonestown, there's enough comparisons that I could see it still being that type of story told and get a bit of insight of how people react and why they react that way and why people seem so prevalent in being here and pretty much letting themselves get brainwashed. And I feel the same way as these two leads from Vice, going, what's going on and why are you doing this and why do you believe in this? And okay, well, these people seem happy at least, and then not quite, because there's some people who want help because they'll hurt people that go against it. More and more people want to leave, as that's when the shit really hits the fan. I guess I would say this is a better version of that film Red State that Kevin Smith did. I know, rest in peace Michael Parks, but that was another film dealing with a cult and, you know, crazy shit happens, and you have this cult leader that has brainwashed people. But Red State, you know, got all this praise and such. I disagree. I think it's a boring film, and the ending was non-consequential. It's like, what? Seemed like just a weird way to end things, where you think something's going to happen, then you just have, being in a courtroom explaining shit. I don't know, I'm not a fan of Red State. This one I preferred more. It was more simple, it was more straightforward. The characters I liked a bit more. And I like Michael Parks, but Kevin Smith just let him spiel for like 30 minutes straight. It got old after a while. Here, this Jim Jones type had the right amount of screen time. You get his fervor, his presence, how he almost controls people, and a definite solid job by this actor. I don't know who the actor's name is, but he made an impression on me. Thought he did a good job. I was like, that son of a bitch. That type of son of a bitch. Because spoilers, when things are going haywire, he tells the people, we need to choose our own death. You don't want to go back there, or they'll kill us, but let's go together. Let's choose how we die and drink the Kool-Aid. And ones who don't, they get shot. And Jim Jones type, I forget the actual character's name in the movie, he does believe in his bullshit, because spoiler alert, he does shoot himself. And the spoilers from now on. You have the sister that they went there to see. She douses herself on fire. Like, these people believe in their brainwashed ideals. And it's sad to see that, but sadly that does happen. Jim Jones is one example in Jonestown. Another one, which I wonder if they'll ever do one like this, Heaven's Gate. That's the people, what was it, in California, that thought the spaceship was coming and did this mass thing. Someone do a sequel like this. And yeah, let's do the Sacrament too, and it's a take on Heaven's Gate. Because it's an interesting And interesting doesn't always mean good, but interesting as in seeing the hindsight, the fly in the wall aspect of what happened during that time was interesting to me. And I said the spoilers, keep saying that in case people get mad. There are people that live, our two leads. Because it ends with them getting on a helicopter, they leave, they're filming, and they see all the mass bodies. And it's a really haunting final shot as they head on out in order to get the story told. And it's a sad, like I say, it's not exactly Jonestown, but it's similar. And it's just very sad piece of history that has happened before, probably will happen again. And like I said, it was interesting to see like a fly in the wall hindsight to what may have led to that, similar fashion. So that story I was interested in. The two leads did a good job with their roles. The guy who plays the villain did a good job. It's a slow build, but I was never bored with it. Getting pulled in to see what's going on with this community and people putting their happy face on and realizing there's a bit more cracks in this than some want to believe. Didn't end on a bullshit matter. I should have said manner, but I always get that fucked up. Doesn't end on a bullshit manner. And I like that. I like having a little bit of light at the tunnel. Might be a dim light, but a little bit of light at the tunnel. I'm a sucker for that. Can't help it. So, the Sacrament, I did rather enjoy. I did rather like. Like I said, I think it's a better version of Red State. Sorry. And I'd be curious if someone did a similar thing to this similar to the Heaven's Gate ordeal. Do you have fly on the wall aspect on that? Similar sad event. But yeah, I really don't have a lot of issues with it. I just, if people want this type of story with a lot of crazy insanity, you're not going to get that here. There's not like a big twist and turns thing going on. You kind of know where it's going, and it leads into that and nothing more. If you watch VHS 2, that has a segment directed by the director of The Raid Redemption, where it's a cult, and these people go in to report on this cult. That's an insane segment. Like, I mean, that's when people explode, and everyone in a room get a gun, boom, and there's a demon coming out of a stomach, and that's a lot more insane. That's a lot more craziness. If you're expecting that from this, you're not going to get it. This is definitely more of a, in a weird way, subtle version compared to that 7 VHS 2. But I still liked the film. I was still intrigued by the flick. Yeah, I liked it. So, thanks for watching. Take care. And we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.